It's the time of year when baking starts ramping up, and there's a new cookbook to help you out. It's the Ultimate Minnesota Cookie Book.
And joining us today are the authors, Svitak and Rick Nelson. Thank you both so much for coming in and for bringing the cookies here. Okay, so we got round 2 of this book. I think many remember your first book, the Great Minnesota Cookie Book. Tell us about why a second one?
We found that readers really wanted the additional recipes in it, particularly the people who had been winning the contest over the years. And this was the sort of the conclusion of our time with the contest for Rick and me, and after 20 years, so we wanted to wrap everything all up.
Well, show us some of the options here, though.
So we have, these are orange ginger cookies. This is with some candied ginger. It's kind of a molasses cookie with a little orange in there as well. Really fabulous. These are cranberry cornmeal shortbread cookies, which have a little rosemary in there, and also super surprising and really good. We've got some hot cocoa cookies here with a nice chocolate and sort of a kid favorite with a little marshmallows. And Rick, why don't you?
And the last 2 are both refrigerator cookies, which are kind of favorites of mine because you can make the dough in advance. You put them in the freezer, and then when you want a cookie, you can slice them and bake them. So this one is a cranberry and pecan kind of swirl cookie. I love these cookies. They're one of my favorites. And this is a cherry almond shortbread. Again, you just make it in a roll. You cut them, slice them, roll these in a little sugar, and bake them, and you have cookies.
Was it hard to decide at all what to include?
Because you are getting the best of the best. Right. I mean, the cookie contest obviously is iconic here in Minnesota.
It takes a little thought and a lot of tasting to come up with what is the best of the best. And I would say that one of the things that we tried to do was offer really a great variety of cookies for winners for the contest, as you can see here. So, and we also wanted to offer things that were not your kind of typical lunchbox kind of cookie. These are a little more special, and then
we also wanted them to be cookies that people would want to make over and over and over again and become a new tradition in their baking household.
So really something accessible for people, so they don't feel intimidated making it and they'll want to keep doing it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and you all have a launch event, right? Coming up?
We do.
Yes, we have.
Tomorrow night at the library, at the Downtown Minneapolis Public Library at 6:30, we're the talk of the stacks, and there's still some seats available.
This book is so beautiful because you have the photography in there to many of these wonderful cookies. But one thing I did notice is a section on bars.
Oh, yes.
Okay. I know how the Star Tribune feels about cookies and bars. What is your personal opinion? Are bars cookies?
Well, we definitely think that they are, and Rick is the spokesperson for that.
There's one exception when a bar is not a cookie, and that's a brownie.
Okay.
A brownie is a bar. All other cookies can be bars and vice versa.
Okay, Lee, it's like I'm going to ask you to pick your favorite child, favorite cookie in here. Do you have one?
I have one, I would have to say, and it's favorite because I make it all the time. So they're almond palmiers, and I just love the flavor of almond. I always associate almond with the holidays for some reason as well. But I really love these cookies in part because they are incredibly elegant looking and they look like you really fussed, but they're a slice and bake. They're incredibly easy. So
I also, I really like the cranberry cornmeal. I don't have a real sweet tooth, and so these are a little more on the savory, not really savory, but they're not as sweet as normal, and they're just really unexpected. You can make them in all sorts of different, use different cookie cutters.
Fantastic. Well, both of you, thanks so much. What a wonderful gift to give for people. And as we mentioned, Talk of the Stacks at Minneapolis Central Library. It's hosting that launch event for the Ultimate Minnesota Cookie Book tomorrow, 6:30, free to attend, but you do have to register, and we'll have a link when we post this to our website.
Joseph, you've got a lot of options over here to try.
I was just going to say, do me a favor. Will one of you have a cookie? Like just somebody? They're just sitting there. They look beautiful.
Yeah.
In fact, maybe have 9 of them. Just go for it. Go all the way. Love it. Thank you. I'm going to come over there. I would love to try one as well.
They're good, Joseph. They're good.
I believe it. I believe it.